What's going on, everybody? Steven here. I want to give you a Vegas video. We're going to talk about 5 ways people oftentimes do quasi-legal, sometimes illegal stuff and make so much money in a single day it would make your head spin right here in Las Vegas on the Strip. This is a one-take video. I'm in my car. Can I get a logo, please? There's the logo. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a full-time Vegas guy, YouTuber, and I love to bring you guys stuff about the city that you may not know about. So this video is going to be 5 things that people do to make money in Vegas without having to have a legit day job, and oftentimes by ripping off tourists. So watch out for these. If you like this video, like it, and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell so you know when I do new videos just like this, and other stuff about the Raiders, the Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, which I should have covered because I just had the All-Star game here, and everything else related to Vegas, moving here, visiting here, and so on and so forth. First thing people do that's quasi-legal, pictures for tips. Now, if you come to Vegas, you'll see the characters. They used to only be in Hollywood, California, and some other spots where they were buskers, legitimate performers, or people who were really good at staying totally still like a statue, and they looked great, and they would scare you a bit if they were Freddy Krueger, a friend of mine who got deported. And I'll tell that story on the channel one time, so be sure to subscribe about my friend who got deported to Europe after playing Freddy Krueger. But we've all seen him out there, and the hustle is simple. You take a picture, they say we work for tips. Now, most of them are nowadays telling you beforehand if they can, if they're not in a big costume, I work for tips, is that okay? They're not allowed to tell you, you have to pay me for that photo. That's the law, because they don't have a vendor's license. They can't be taking money from you on a public sidewalk. They pay 0 taxes to the city or to the venue, and they can't work in the casinos. But the ACLU fought really hard to let them stand out there and be performers and take your money. How much can you make at that? Well, I know people that have stood in those hot costumes all day and made $400, $500, $600, even $1,000 a day on the best days of their time, and only a few dollars a day on the worst days of their time. But they make more than a full-time position working at any retail store if they just stay out there and they have a bit of a personality. Number 2, nightclub passes for tips. I kind of talked on the channel about this once before, but this is a big bad hustle. You walk up to somebody walks up to you. They're promoting for a nightclub. They have all sorts of passes or wristbands. They have the local Las Vegas weekly paper. They tell you that they know everything about everything and that this special pass to get you into Dre's or into the night. I don't know nightclubs, right? I don't need to. I'm married. I go out to nice restaurants with my wife. We don't do the clubs, but they seem to know their stuff. And then they do a big, huge sales pitch on you. And then they tell you that you're going to be getting into the club and you're going to see Beyonce or Drake or Snoop Dogg or whatever the soup du jour is. And then you pay him and he says, well, most people tip me $40, $50 because I'm saving you several hundred. I know a guy that did this big time. He conned $1,200 out of some guys from the UK, and then we didn't see him for a week. Turns out he was waiting for them to leave because he knew they would probably come back and try to beat the heck out of him for what he did to him. How much can you make off this? A lot of money. Think about it. You make a few clips for 50, 60 bucks here or there a couple of times a night. You go home with $300, $400 in your pocket, do whatever you're going to do with your money, and then you come back and you wash, rinse, repeat. Works best on weekends. If the legitimate promoter is out there, they take your name and your phone number. They don't take your money. And they will get you to the door, but you're always going to pay unless you're the prettiest of the pretty girls. And then maybe you get your, maybe you get that fee waived at the door. Number 3 comes back to another thing with passes. It's going to be free show tickets for tips. Free show tickets for tips. They're not free, you have to pay, and oftentimes they don't work. And they get these passes from people that work for timeshare companies or for concierge desks. They usually pay a few dollars for the passes. A lot of times the nightclub guys do the same thing too. They give you all the information, they tell you that they're free or that they waived 90% of the fees, and then you show up and you find out that you're getting the worst seats in the house, or the show is already sold out with as much cash purchases as they can have. There's no show for you, and now you're stuck with a worthless piece of paper. You might as well gone on a timeshare tour, and you call the timeshare guys scammers, huh? How much can you make at that? Not as much as the first 2. I mean, you gotta really be good and hit big families and take $100 out of a group of like 6 or 7 people. And then it's justifiable, but then the passes say you have to pay, so it's a little tougher. If you got a good hustle, sure you can make it work. Maybe you start off at that one and you move into the nightclubs. I don't know. Number 4, more prevalent than ever, religious people taking tips for money. And Buddhist monks, they walk up to you and they bless you. They give you their blessing. I'm not making fun of Buddhist monks. Those people are the nicest people in the world, but these guys give you a blessing. They give you a little piece. They're really quiet, like they don't speak English. They always look like they come from Tibet. And then they ask you for a tip. Monks don't take tips for blessings. Look it up. Google that. Monks don't use money exchanges, okay? They swear themselves to a life of poverty. Buddha sat under the tree and he meditated on the inequality in the world, and he vowed himself to a life of no material possessions. I've seen Buddhist monks smoking cigarettes on cell phones in the back roads around Las Vegas. Yeah, how much do they make? Unknown. The other one is they do this little thing. There are a lot of folks that are Indian, like Indian descent from the country of India, where they like ask you to pick a number and then they guess something about you. It's all just a little math equation that they're doing, and it looks impressive. Then they ask you for a tip. Number 5, we ran out of gas. This one happens in probably every city across the country, but it's really bad here. We ran out of gas. My kids are in the car over there, or my kid is with me right now. Can I get $5 or $10 from you? I just need to get home. You ran out of gas. That's terrible. The same person in the same parking lot keeps telling me they ran out of gas. Finally got frustrated and I said, I'm not trying to be mean to you, but if you can remember the guy with glasses that you keep asking, I know you've been here for the last 2 months. I'm not buying it, so just please, I don't want to say no to you anymore because I have this compassionate heart that maybe you're telling me the truth, but it's been 2 months. How much does the We Ran Out of Gas crowd make? I have no idea. But they position themselves at places like gas stations on the south end of the strip. You see them in Walmart stores, all these different places. But the point is this. These are things that you can pull off in a touristy type town where there are so many new fresh faces coming in and you can just clip them and run off. And it sucks because it makes the Vegas experience worse than it needs to be. So that's a video that's Vegas focused. I love all of you for watching me. Thank you for sharing and liking. And if you guys want to see more, just make sure you leave me a comment in the box below. Share this so YouTube tells other people like you that maybe I'm worth watching. And until next time, my name is Steven and I am not leaving Las Vegas. And it's not as hot in this car as you think it is right now because I'm in the shade and the air conditioning was just on. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.